yo-yo man. The evolution of the yo-yo first began a long, long time ago when a man was caught observing a frog. He looked at that frog. He noticed the frog had a very unusual tongue. He thought maybe that tongue could be used for a lot of other things than flipping flies and insects. He said the tongue was real far out. Back at first, so he held the frog by his long tongue and bounced him up and down. Then he tried around the world. Around the world worked pretty well, too. The other man looked at the frog and said, it's great fun to not be right. The frog agreed, and we finished with the frog. Now, the next step, isn't that right, yo-yo man? You said yes, of course. Now, the next step in the evolution of the yo-yo thing, one night, as a man was caught studying the spider, which is just way up and down a second thread. So, of course, he thought to himself, I wonder, what if I... Yeah, I think I'll fly around the world with this handsome spider. And that worked pretty well. Then he said, I think I'll fly loop to loop. Loop to loop was real well too, that isn't hell. I didn't get the point.
No one knows when or where the yo-yo made its first appearance on this planet. But legend has it that it goes way, way, way back to near the beginning of time, or possibly just after the discovery of spin. But one thing for sure, the yo-yo has remained very popular ever since. For centuries, the young and old, rich and poor, the famous and powerful have all pursued the same goal. They have searched and searched and searched and searched for the pure and supreme taste of yo!
State of yoke can give you new life? Do you know how the state of yoke can lift your spirit? Do you know how the state of yoke can change an ordinary dwelling into someone special? Well, take a look at this man. Here's an example of a man before he discovered and achieved the mystic state of yoke. Not a living thing could stand to be in his presence. Flowers would wilt, food would spoil, animals and insects would fight him and fight him, and then die gladly. For instance, witness this encounter with a small child. Hello, small child, he said. Ooh. You see, even the child recognized this man's apparent lack of yoke. Pardon me, miss, I'm a stranger in your town. Could you please tell me the way to your house, he said. Ooh. And even disagreeable, sour old political leaders found him quite annoying. Well, this is getting me nowhere, he said. And that's when he discovered the radio. He saw the light. He heard the music. He found the groove. Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's something even more special. It's the Yo Master. Something up to be desired. I want to be a yo-yo man, he cried. Let's be a yo-yo man. But the yo-yo master did not answer. He just kept on yelling. No, help me get started. Please? Yes, he said. First, you must learn the basics of yes. The basics. Bringing the yo, tying the knot, creating the loop, placement on the finger, twisting and winding, throwing and retrieving, string tension, and rotation. Let's start off by stringing the yo. Lift the yo-yo through the loop of the string. Now give it a twist to the right. That's clockwise. Now hold the yo-yo between your feet and stretch the string up to the waist, hold it clockwise and slip off the string. Looks like yo-yo man. Ooh, what's that yo-yo man? That's not really string. The reason you want to spin it that way is because you don't want it to stay long if the yo-yo keeps banging the ground.
That's right, where you can nice and up right there at the top of the string. Now try a loop, a little loop around the end of the string. You don't want the loop too small so that it binds on the loop when it's around the finger and cuts out circulation. So have it a nice loop loop, like it goes right there in the diagram. That's it. Now place the string of the loop around your middle finger, just behind the first note. That's good. That's good. Put it tight, and you're ready to go. Let's start out by spinning the yo-yo to the right, to push the string tight. Sounds like a simple thing to do, but sometimes you find that the yo-yo string, you flip it around and you can't wind it very well. Winding the yo-yo should be easy, but here's what the yo-yo looks like. See each finger? You flip it right across the yo-yo, make the next loop, then slide the finger out, and now you can start winding a little tighter and a little tighter. And that's perfect. Now the yo-yo's ready to go. Notice which way you're winding the yo-yo. See the arrow there? And the yo-yo goes down to the outside towards the end of the finger. The reason it's round towards the end of the finger is that when you do an overhand release, palm up release, the yo-yo just naturally rolls off the hand down to the tip of the wrist. Do it again, yo-yo man. See, the palm is up towards the yo-yo man, facing the yo-yo man, and a nice a natural roll up into your fingers. See, the reason you do that overhand roll is that you get a lot of power in the skin. So you try, keep dropping the yo-yo from the underside of the palm of the hand. See how lazy the skin? There's a simple example. You see, the problem the yo-yo man has there is this string is not twisted enough. It's too weak. So twist it right to tight. That's right. Now, ooh, see, now here's the opposite problem. It's too tight. So what you do is spin the yo-yo to the left, the loop, this way. Untwist. It's spin a little bit, and there's no problem. Just a little bit of trying. So just wind it too tight sometimes, wind it too weak another, and you get what I mean. Uh-oh. You know what? Yo-yo strings don't last forever. And no one really knows how long when they last. So if you're worried about it sometimes, take off the string after it's been on the wall for a few days, and throw it away. It's important never to aim the yo-yo directly at anybody, and make sure you have plenty of room for tricks, because you never know when you might lose that sturdy yo.
When Tommy was just a little boy, his hero was the traveling professional yo-yo man. And as Tommy grew up, he never lost his love for the yo-yo. But when you approach the yo-yo as an adult, has a whole different dimension than when you were just a child. For instance, there's a philosophy of life of which the yo-yo is the center. It goes like this. We're all going to secure in our homes like a yo-yo is in the palm of the hand. So when the yo-yo is flung out in the face like this, that's what we do every day when we leave our homes and go out to the world. We're out there trying to impress our friends and neighbors or loved ones. We're out there trying to get ahead in life. We're out there trying to look groovy. Hey, look groovy, Tom. That's it. Take your brother groovy there.
Now we'd like to teach you the 9 basic yo-yo tricks. Notice that each trick has its own color. That's so that when you want to refer to a particular trick or review, just fast forward your VCR until you see the flashing color of your choice. Press play and you're ready to go. Okay, palm up release. Yo-yo in the sweeper position, spinning at the bottom of the string at a high rate of speed. And the yo-yo master has his hand up in the air now. You don't have to do it like that. You can if you want, but it's not necessary. Now, see the finger there? Little tug of the finger, yo-yo back up to the palm of the hand. And yo-yo man, why don't you try? Back up to the palm of the hand. Very well done. Now notice it's a palm up release. Mark smart release. Watch the spin. Yo-yo spinning at a high rate of speed at the end of the swing, and then when you're ready, you sort of bring it up to the palm of the hand. This trick is for animal lovers. Control a real fast feature just like the one you learned. Let it spin at the end of the swing for a few beats, then gently lower the yo-yo back towards your wheel. Gently to the ground. Now keep tracking the swing by moving your hand away from your body, following the yo-yo. And then at the end of the ground, lift your hand up, with a little touch, the yo-yo comes back up to the palm of the hand. Now it's really important to do a fast spin. Overhand release, really fast spin. Stabilize the yo-yo there for a few seconds. Lower it, hold your wheel, follow it out. That's right. Now, lift the hand, little touch, back to the palm of the hand. If you want to go for a walk with the dog, that's okay too. Breakaway is a little different from the other tricks in that the release is to the side and across the body. Feet up and out, down and around and across the body. Yo-yo man says he likes to try it by himself. Okay, yo-yo man, let's see if you can do it. Now bring the arm up, down and out and across the body. That's right. Let's try it once more. Slow motion this time. Hands up, palm in, palm in. Across the body, and that's good. Over the hand brings the yo-yo right back to the palm of the hand. Let's watch the yo-yo man do it a couple more times. You're in the groove, yo-yo man. Over the falls is a trick fancy trick. Bring the yo-yo straight out, then back over your wrist, straight down, and back up to the palm of the hand. Let's start with slow motion. Rear release, straight out, over the wrist between the arm and body, straight down, then up to the palm of the hand. Let's watch it in stop action. Arm back, wrist top, straight forward release, and right back over the wrist between the forearm and the body, straight down, up to the hand. Around the world, the yo-yo man's favorite trick because it best illustrates his philosophy of life. He thinks of us as the yo-yo in the palm of the hand, and as we live life, we go out into the world, spinning around and around, seeing new places, and making new things. Let's watch the yo-yo man do it in slow motion. Around his back, down and forward, around, and a slight tug on the string, back to the hand. Let's watch it in stop motion. The yo-yo man brings his hand back, wrist top, down and forward. Yo-yo way out there now. Watch the hand. Stay very quiet in the center. Hardly use it all. The yo-yo man's been around twice. But he has a lot of spin on it. But you can try one revolution to start. Good going, yo-yo man. Nice trick. Let's watch around the corner. Yo-yo man says you'd like to try it. Let's watch it in slow motion. Good fast, sweeper position. Bring the yo-yo spin gently behind the arm, midway between the elbow and the shoulder. Toss the wrist back a little bit. Instead of raise the hand, lift touch. Over the arm, straight down, back up to the palm of the hand. Let's try it once more. Now, overhand release is good, fast sweeper. Then very gently, bring that string back. Over the arm. Now, try to get the elbow, wrist, and shoulder tucked into the same hand. Pop your wrist back, and then wave your hand forward. Just a little wave. The yo-yo will come over the arm, straight down, hold your hand about waist height, then a little tight, back to the palm of the hand. Let's watch the yo-yo. Now here's a variation on around the corner. It's called kick around the corner. Everything's the same to this point. Then you bring your left leg back and sort of fake a kick at it. So it's just so quite touch it, but at the same time, wave the hand, raise them up, down, and back home again. Flip and trick, yo man. Rocking the Baby is one of the most famous of all the yo-yo tricks. The yo-yo man gets more respect for this trick than any other. Now, here's the yo-yo man rocking the baby. Holds the cradle with his left hand, rocks the baby with his right. Back to the palm of the hand. Now let's try it in slow motion. Yo-yo down and back with it. Now a little more than a third down with the left hand to grab the yo-yo stick. Then, with the right hand a few inches above the yo-yo, grab the string. Now, spread the fingers of the left hand, turn palm up, tilt the cradle, rock the baby with the right hand. So release from this position, release with the right hand, bring the left hand up, and back home again. Let's try it again. Fast release, loop it. Now a bit more than a third down, left hand and the right hand. You're going to have to experiment a little bit with this. Try to get the right amount of swing for the baby in the cradle for the trick. And you can watch this. You're going to stay backwards and forward because it's a little tricky in getting the right dimensions for the cradle. Thank the baby. That's a little variation on rock the baby. Here's another one. It's called rock the baby cha-cha-cha. A little fancy. Cha-cha-cha. Let's see you do it, yo-yo man. There's the cradle. Rock the baby. Cha-cha-cha. Watch the yo master up close slow motion. Now he has so much skin on it that he's going to do it. You can count them. 2.5 cha-cha-cha. Okay, here we go. Start counting. And we go 4.5. Watch this release. Up, out, and away with an overhand grip. Great catch.
There he got me up by rock the froggy in the table. And that was pretty good too. In fact, here you can see the man was having lots of fun.
Here's the yo-yo man doing his loop to loop. Now the yo master in slow motion, we'll show you how to do it. Hand back, forward release, and then with your wrist and finger, bring the yo-yo back between the arm and the body, and then swing it out again. Watch the timing on this trick. Hand back, and arm and body, and out again. And if you try this trick, just try 1 or 2 loop-to-loop. Now here's a real thought on the wrist and finger action on loop-to-loop. Yeah, it comes back. Watch that swing in relation to the hand action. This particular trick, the yo-yo never sleeps. And actually, if you do these loop-to-loops right, you can build energy and go faster and faster and do as many loop-to-loops as you want. And that's loop-to-loop. This last trick is dual purpose. Not only is the flying saucer fun to watch, but it also adjusts the twist or the tension of the yo-yo stick. See, the yo-yo comes out, takes an angle in the future position, continues until it spins absolutely flat, and then you bring it back to the hand. Now, the reason it does this is, unlike the other trick, the yo-yo release is not straight down, it's to the side. See that? Yo-yo man just turn it to the side, about 45-degree angle, spin back to the palm of the hand. Now, let's see how we do this trick. You take your overhand release to the side, right from the start, 45-degree angle. Now, watch. In the future position, the yo-yo is tossed a little bit. See it? Now it's even continuing until it's absolutely flat. Now take your left hand about midway in the string, slide it down to about 4 to 6 inches above the yo-yo, hold it out there until you're ready to bring it home, then slight lift with the left hand, touch with the right, and back to the hand. It's very important with this trick that you release the yo-yo easier. That is, with not as much power as you would with a front release. The yo-yo cannot accept as much power with the side release. It will just pop right back up. See the yo-yo man's release nice and easy now. With the left hand, he pushes the string, holds it tight, and watch the string untwist. That's the flying process. Nice flying, yo-yo man. In honor of the yo-yo man's completion of the 9 basic yo-yo tricks, did he ask for gold, silver, or other material goods? No, he did not. He simply asked for and received his very own suspenders. That's right, suspenders. I have no idea why he wanted these suspenders. But then again, they made him so happy. Congratulations, yo-yo man. Congratulations. Kind of baby in a little kingdom. And now he has the power. Smoking up the steam. The Celtic star. A man on a flying trapeze. I wanna be the yo-yo man. With my yo all over the land. With the booty dance and funny clothes. Oh, look at him laugh wherever he goes. The two-handed leap to leap. Here comes the motorcycle. Riding the horse. The brain crystal. Rock the baby in the Eiffel Tower. Dog bites man. Ooh, that hurts, doesn't it, yo-yo man? Now this is a really nice trick. It's called dog jumping through hoops. Watch that again. Through the hoop. One more time, guys. Here comes the scary spider web. Loop the loop. With around the world. Milk the cow. Yo-yo man. Never give up, never give low. This is roller coaster. Keep on trying, let the go. Once again now.
In a little pool with a good friend of mine, a great Danny Medina. We're getting ready to head to Aspen, Colorado, where we're going to meet with 15 more of the greatest men and women players in the game today. And while we're there, we're going to put together a series of instructional teachings which is really going to improve your game. Let's face it, in this sport, the more inside secrets you know, the more fun you're going to have. And speaking of fun, hey amigo, you haven't missed a ball in an hour. Are you ever going to let me shoot again?
I tell you, I don't plan on letting you shoot the rest of the week.
Now, he's a real fun guy to play with. What I want to talk about is the proper selection of the shoe. For those of you who have never had a professional cue and really don't know how to go about choosing one, what I would suggest is to go into your local billiard parlor, take some cues out of the rack, all different weights. Now, how do you know what weight it is? Well, usually there'll be a little insignia on the cue right here. This particular cue says 17. That means 17 ounces. What I would do is get a bunch of cues that weigh different ounces, pick them all up and decide which one feels too heavy for you, which one is too light for you. When you find the one that feels just right, and this is the one I use, this is a 19-ounce cue stick. A lot of the professional players, that's the standard cue for them, it's 19 ounces. Once you find one that feels the right weight, then you want to see how tall the stick is. Most people play with a cue that's between 57 and 58 inches tall, depending on how tall they are. The 57 to 58 inches is the standard length. 19 ounces is the standard weight. The next thing you want to have on your cue stick at all times is this tip is very important. A half-moon shaped tip. You got a tip that's flat, you're going to miss cue a lot, you can't get in any kind of cue ball. So remember, the length, 57, 58 inches, standard weight, about 19 ounces. And make sure your tip is always in a half-moon shape. Get a lot more action on the cue ball that way. Now the next thing I want to talk about is proper table selection. There's a lot of people out there interested in becoming professional players and traveling on the professional circuit. You're going to find one thing when you get to all these tournaments, all the tables are going to have new cloth, which means the tables are going to roll much faster. If I was looking to go to a tournament, I would first come into the pool room and look for a table that has the newest cloth on it, because it's the one that's going to roll the fastest. Now, as you can see on this table here, it has a little bit of wear and tear on it. Obviously, this cloth has been on this table for a little while. But this cloth over here seems to be plate green, which means this is a brand new cloth. Now, this is the table I would want to play on because I think this table is going to roll a lot faster than this particular table. And that's what you're going to find at tournaments. New cloth with a lot of speed. You should also take a look at the pocket. If you got a table that when you hit a ball and it hits the rail here and it still goes in the pocket, well, hey, these pockets are too big. You don't want to practice on a table like this. Just normal tightness of the pocket is what you want. Try to find a table that has normal tightness of the pocket and a lot of green on it, because that's what you're going to find in tournament action.
Okay, I want to show you some of the basic fundamental bridges that are used when you play a game of pool. The first bridge for beginners is the easiest one to make. You just make a fist with these four fingers and bring this thumb over against the index finger and just kind of let it curl a little bit so that you make a channel to slide that cue through, just like this. Okay, now after you try this and this becomes real easy to do, now all you do is just spread out all four fingers, and you keep the heel of the hand here on the table and the pressure points of these four fingers. And you still got that channel between the knuckle and the thumb to slide the cue. And a lot of the professionals use this on some of the shots in the game. Okay, now the next one is the one that gives everybody so much trouble. It's called the tripod bridge. And what you do is just lay your hand flat like this and lay the stick right between your thumb and index finger. You bring this index finger over and put it against your thumb, and now you bring that middle finger under and against your index finger, so you form a tripod for all three fingers. And the pressure points are the heel of the hand. You don't want it up in the air like this. You want it, that palm of the hand flat on the table, the heel, and you want those the pressure points on the finger. And you make a nice channel to slide that where you have real firm control of the cue. Okay, now once in a while, you end up in this position, where you have to shoot over a ball. Okay, and I've seen a lot of different bridges.
Now you have to get these fingers kind of straight up in the air. And what I do, because my fingers are a little shorter, I put this index finger right against the middle finger and try to keep that middle finger straight up and down. And put these other fingers on the table. And then I try to make a V for that cue to slide through, so that I can get up and hit that white ball without hitting that one ball that I'm shooting over. Main thing is get elevated up in the air and get the fingers kind of straight up in the air as you can and try to keep it as solid as you possibly can. Okay, now the rail bird. When the cue ball throws to the rail, I see a lot of people when they're beginning to play, they elevate the cue up in the air like this, and anytime you start elevating that cue, your accuracy is going to go way down. So when the cue ball throws against the rail like this, you lay your hand flat on the table, these four fingers, and you bring your thumb up and you make a channel right between the thumb and the index finger for that cue to slide through. And you're guiding it a lot with this index finger, and some people even crank it a little bit up in the air to kind of slide it, have something to guide the path of that cue. And you try to keep your cue as close to level as you can. You have to elevate maybe a little bit, but try to keep it to a minimum. Okay, now the next way of birds is when you're off where you can't birds on the table, the last bird. What I'm going to show you today is when you're off the rail just a little bit, now you use a little different bird. You put all five fingers together just like this right here. And put that cue right against your thumb to guide that shaft of the cue. You bring this index finger over, the middle finger against the cue, so you got some friction to help guide that cue, and you still keep the cue nice and level. And you've got a good solid support with this type of a rail bridge when the cue ball's off just enough where you can't bird on the table. So those are the different bridges. Most of the bridges that come up when you're playing a game. That is probably 95% of the shots that you come up with when you're playing a game of pool.
You know, there's a lot of times when you're shooting pool, you come across shots that will just 2 feet, don't care if you're 7 feet tall. That's when it's time to use the bridge. But for more information on how to use the bridge properly, let's listen to Lori John Jones.
Everybody who can't reach the sky. Right here, I can't reach this sky down. So what I'm going to do, this is my bridge, in fact, this is the Christmas Pool Bridge. What you do is when you set up for a bridge shot, you want a lot of distance between the bridge and the cue ball. You want to take the bridge with your left hand, or your right hand, whatever hand you do it, and hold it away from you so it doesn't get near your body. Then you want to hit this elbow out like this. This is very important. Put the elbows like this, never like this. You want the elbow straight out, and you want to stroke through the ball just as though it's a regular shot. And that's the way you use the bridge.
You know, in a professional tournament match, there's only one way to decide who shoots first. So for more on that, let's talk to Belinda Bridge from Austin, Texas.
The log is a skillful way of determining which player has the option of the first strike. To execute a log, you send your cue ball through the foot rail, trying to be the player's closest to the head rail. I'll demonstrate. As you know, the break is all important in pocket birds. If you can be the player to win the log, and that would probably win, you'll be in control of the match. It's always a good idea to practice your log, not only at the place where you practice, but on the table you're about to play on, because as you know, tables play differently and they're different speeds, so that you'll be accustomed to it. Practice your log on the table you're about to play your match on.
You know, there's a number of different break shots in the music too. All depends what game you're playing. But right now, we're going to play a little 9-ball. So who better to show us the 9-ball break than the legendary Mr. Boom Boom himself, Wade King.
The break in the game of 9-ball is the first and most important shot of the game. the better you break the balls, the more successful you will be in high-level competition. The break has always been one of my better spots. And I'm going to show you a few little things that I do that has worked for me for years. Place the cue ball halfway between the finished spot and the second line. The reason for this preference is to eliminate the scratching side. The closer you are to the center of the table, the cue ball has a tendency to jump into one of the side pockets if not hitting exactly to it. But from this angle, you will eliminate a lot of it. Now, another little technique that I use, I not only cue on the one ball, I also cue on the fourth ball. The fourth would be the eighth. And what I'm doing when I approach the cue ball, I'm trying to drive the one ball into the earth with a slightly elevated bridge. The reason for the elevated bridge, that causes what we call a kill reaction of the cue ball. The cue ball can come back and stop coming on the center of the table. If the balls are hit perfectly, the one ball, when breaking from the right side, will always come back to the left, and therefore you can position on the one after the break. I'll demonstrate. That's a good break. That break is just a nice break. Anytime the cue ball is coming anywhere in the center of the table, you break the ball again.
Well, we've seen the 9-ball break, but what about the 8-ball break? There's a paisan down in South Philadelphia, goes by the name of the Philly Flag. He's going to explain the 8-ball break to us, and his name is Jimmy Foxwell.
Okay, we're going to talk a little bit about the break playing 8-ball, which is basically very simple. There's two basic breaks playing 8-ball. First of all, the object of the break playing 8-ball is to make a ball so you can stay at the table and continue to shoot. Second of all, playing 8-ball, if you make the 8th one a break, you win. So the first way to break in playing 8-ball is you don't have a high percentage to make the 8-ball, but you have a better percentage of making a ball and putting the cue ball on the center of the table, so once you do make a ball, you have another shot. So this first way is place the cue ball approximately in the center of the table, put the one ball, the top ball, which in this case is the one ball, as full as possible and as hard as possible, and bring the cue ball back in the center of the table. In the event that you do make a ball, you have a shot. Let's see what happens. Here, as you can see, I have the cue ball fairly in the center of the table, and with the choice of any shot I want just about, and I think I did pocket a ball in the break. So the second way to break the ball playing 8-ball is to place the cue ball about 2 to 3 inches from the side rail. You're striking the second ball here, which in this case is the cue ball. Hit as full as possible, draw the cue ball out to the side rail, and hopefully back to the center of the table from there, where you might have another shot to make a ball. The reason for this break is this break gives the 8-ball more chance to kind of hold the end. If you make the 8-ball on the break from 8-ball, you win the game. Let's see what happens. As you can see, the 8-ball got out of the rack pretty good. It didn't go, and I didn't make a ball, but that's basically the second way to break the ball playing 8-ball.
Next, we're going to talk about the one-pocket break. Now, one pocket's a lot like playing chess. So let's talk to a guy that's been around the game for a long time. Not only was he a great fighter with a 13-0-1 record, but as a one-pocket player, his record might be even better. A man from Phoenix, Arizona, Danny D, and the Danny D.
Now, one pocket uses just the two corner pockets at the foot of the table. Now, if you hit the ball on the left side to start the game, it means you have the right-hand pocket throughout the whole game. Now, there are 15 balls. The other pocket's 8, and their particular pocket first wins the game. Now, if you hit the ball on the right side, then you automatically have the left corner pocket. Now, I like to, in choosing which pocket you would take to start the game and break them, there are, in fact, first of all, you play on a table that you know fairly well.
is wherever the table is, it usually leans to one side or another. So in the picture package, you would love to have the side that table leans to. Other than that, all things equal, if you're right-handed, you should take the right-hand packet. Simply because there are more questions of shots that you can reach shooting in there. Now, if you're left-handed, you would hit the balls on this side and pick the left hand. Simply because there are shots you can reach left-handed that you wouldn't be able to reach if you're right-handed. So all things equal, without the table leaning, you pick the right-hand pocket if you're right-handed, the left-hand pocket if you're left-handed. Now, the idea of the break is to knock balls towards your pocket. Knuckle the person so that they can't knock any of those balls away. And the way you would do that would be just barely brush the head ball with a hair that we call reverse English. In this case, it would be right-handed. Let's see if I can execute a good one pocket there. Now that is a pretty fair game.
You know, in the game of pool today, the women play this game every bit as well as the men do. So for the straight pool break, let's bring out one of the superstars of the ladies division. From Costa Mesa, California, Robin Bell.
Okay, the straight pool safety break is very important. What I'm going to try to do here is the cue ball going to go to the bottom rail, come back into the pack. The 11 ball is going to go to the side rail and come back to the pack. The cue ball is going to be going 3 rails, bottom rail, side rail, back over to this side rail, and in this vicinity. That's a trick.
You're right, Robin. That was a trick. Great shot. And right now, let's talk about some strategy in one of my favorite games, 8-ball. For more on that, let's go to a guy we call Cool Hand. From Owensboro, Kentucky, Nick Barnes.
Okay, there's over 30 million players that play tour in America, and most of those players, the game they play is 8-ball. And I'm going to show you a little bit about 8-ball position and strategy today. And well, I'm going to start out, when I look at the table, I try to figure out and figure a plan for the whole table. And I notice the 8's on the other end. So it's natural that I maybe save the 2 balls that are close to the 8-ball to finish up with. So sometimes it works better to kind of work backwards when you're figuring out 8-ball position and strategy. So I would rather clear the balls on this end of the table. So I've got plenty of shots. I can play the 1 in the side, the 3 in the side, the 6 in that pocket, or the 5 in this pocket first. But the pattern I like the best is I would like to start out and play the 6 ball in that pocket, because I don't have to make the 2 ball move very far, and I can play the 5 in this pocket. Because I want to get to this pebble ball, because the 15 I can only play this 4 ball in one pocket. I'd like to get to that pebble ball as early as possible, because this could be a real problem, because what's suicide in 8-ball would be for me to run all the balls and end up out in here someplace on the 4 ball, because what I've done is removed all the obstacles from my opponent and made it a lot easier for him to run out. So you really need to plan ahead, and you need to start out and look at the 8, and then look to see where your real problems are at when you're trying to run out a rack of 8-ball, because once you play along and the problem develops, it's a little bit too late soon, so you have to plan ahead. So let's try those first 3 balls, and then I'll play the 1 and the 3 ball, probably in those 2 side pockets next. On the sixth ball, I've got a little angle, so I'll just let it go an inch or two, hit the cue ball back the middle, and go an inch or two to the left. Okay. Now when I play that 5 ball, I just want to try to pocket the 5 and have that white ball go forward a little bit so it clears that 13 and just bounce off the rail. Try to get it off the rail a little bit. Okay, now I have to look at this swing one and figure out which one to play first. And what I'm going to do is play that 4 ball and try to come up and miss that 13. And I'll try to come up here, and it depends on which one of these 2 balls I get the best angle on, determines which one I'll play first. Okay, and I've got a nice angle on the 3. This is the side of the 3 that I'd like to be on, because now I can go down here and I can end up close to straight in this 1 ball. And a lot of times when you're playing 8 balls, if you're not a run-out player, try to think in terms of playing 3 balls. Like, I cut the 3 in the side, bounce off the rail, I cut the 1 straight in the side, and then it's just real natural to go to the 2 ball next. You just try to play position so that you can move smoothly from 1 ball to the next, because a lot of players are under the misconception that professional players never miss. But they miss just like everybody else, but they just don't miss quite as often. And the reason they don't miss as often is because they keep in and out with one easy shot like this after another. The real key to the game is position play. So let's see if we can get these last balls off the table. Nice thing about playing by yourself is you can do that. Okay, now I just want to bounce off the rail, so I got a shot in the 2 now. And just bounce off the rail, and I play the 2, so I got a good shot in this side. And I end up with a shot that I think anybody would like to have if you happen to be playing for 50 cents or $1 game. I think anybody in this room would like to shoot at this 8 ball as the last shot. So that shows you a little bit about the thinking processes when you're playing 8 ball position.
You know, I've often said that this next gentleman is the luckiest pool player I've ever seen. But you know something? It isn't luck. It's just good defense. So for more on the battle of defense, let's talk to the king himself from Scranton, Pennsylvania, Jimmy Winter.
You know, a lot of people think pool is strictly an offensive game. Well, it's not. There's a lot of defense in the game. And it could tie you to win a lot of matches that you would have lost if you shot the wrong percentage shot. In this situation, playing 9 ball, you're on the 2 ball, so you have to hit the 2 first. There's no shot, down table or up table, because the pockets are blocked. So what I want to do is go to the bottom cushion here with right hand English, send the 2 over this cushion here, then back to the middle of the table here. In the meantime, the 2 ball is going to come up table, and maybe I'll get lucky and put you behind one of these other balls. If not, you're still not going to have a shot anyway. Call it a nice shot, not a very friendly one, but a nice one. You do that consistently, you're going to get the money. So here's the same situation with the 2 balls still in the same place and 2 balls still in the same place. Only this time I moved all the balls on this side of the table. The way to play 35-6 shot is to try to put the 2 ball behind the wall of balls and leave the 2 ball over in this area of the table. It's a good shot, but it's going to give your opponent a lot of trouble. What you want to do is you just spin the 2 ball with a lot of left-handing with the right speed, and something like that. That's going to win for you a lot of times.
You know, there's only one husband and wife team in the history of the game of pool who have both won world championships.
Well,
let's bring her out now and talk a little bit more about these things. And speaking of these things, she knows it, believe me. She's my wife, Kate and my.
As you can see here, I do not have a shot in the one ball. So here's where we go into the defensive part of the game. What I will try to do is knock the one ball, the round table, and hide the cue ball behind the orange ball, so that my opponent does not have a shot. Like that. And as you can see, she cannot even hit the ball. And if she does not hit the ball, I will have cue by hand anywhere on the table, and that makes the game a lot easier.
You know, when it comes to shooting combos, that's short, the combination shots, there's a lot of different theories on how to execute them. So let's bring out one of the masters of the combination shot. From St. Louis, Missouri, the Iceman, Larry Hubbard.
Combination shots are some of the more difficult shots in the game of school. Any professional will tell you, never take a combination shot for granted. A method that I've used over the years to make combination shots is to first, we're going to play the 9 ball on the side. First we have to decide where we want to hit the 9 ball. Draw a line from the pocket, through the 9 ball, to the point of contact. Next we have to line up the first ball with that point of contact on the 9, draw a line through that to the rail. This gives us the target. The target is actually the rail. And getting down to shoot, we actually aim the 2 ball through the 9 at a target on the rail. Playing the 9 ball inside.
Now here's a young lady that's got her own idea of how to shoot combination shots. And here she comes from Hillsboro, New Jersey. And she's the great Larry John.
This shot is called a combination shot. What I'm going to do is take the 8 ball of the 9 ball, and the 9 ball is going to go into the corner pocket. And you have to remember that a combination, no matter how easy it looks, it's not easy. What you want to do is to achieve the combination. You want to you don't ever want to aim the 8 ball into the 9 ball and try to hit that little spot because it's almost impossible. So just achieve it and aim it up, and then when your brain says hit it, press your brain and then usually that. And stroke through on the ball. That's a very thing. The way you do a combination.
You know, shooting combos is cool. Speaking of cool, this next young superstar, he's going to give us his theory on how to shoot combination shots. We call him California Cool from New Mexico, Tim Davenport.
I'm going to talk to you a little bit about combination shots. Now this particular shot, everything is straight in. So when I shoot this shot, I don't even look at the 1 ball. I just shoot straight through the 9 and the ball figs up. So remember, when you're shooting a combination and it's straight in, just go right through the object ball and right to the ball that you're going to play.
Next we want to talk about kick shots. And this young lady ought to know. She kicked me 6 years ago in Oslo, Sweden. And we've been together ever since. Once again, my wife, Ava.
I'm going to try to show you right now something called a kick shot. This type of shot comes up more often than you might think. In this case, the cue ball, the blue ball, does not have a pocket to go on. So what you try to do is use another object ball on the table to help it out. What I'm going to try to do is make the cue ball come down this rail and be pocketed in this side pocket by pushing off the kick shot. And that's what's called a kick shot.
Let me show you a few more variations of what I call a kick shot. refrigerator to pocket 2 balls in one shot. I mean, both the 8 ball and the 9 ball inside pocket. Actually, it's not really that big a mystery. You know the inside secret. How many times has this happened to you when you're playing baseball? You have the solids, your opponent has the stripes. You make all your solids, good shots, and everything, and what happens? The 2 ball comes down, rolls around right behind his last ball. You got the 8 ball hanging right in the corner, but you can't see it. This is when we use what is called the mass phase shot. To execute the mass phase shot, you have to elevate the butt of your cue. Now what I want this 2 ball to do is to go around the 11 and curve back in the pocket the 8. So as I'm looking at my cue ball, imagine that it's a clock. To make this shot here, I'm going to hit it at 2 o'clock. The high right hand angle. Ball's going to swerve out to the left. You move and take it to the right. Make an 8 ball. I'm going to face it. No problem, but it needs a little bit of practice. You don't get frustrated on that face shot. Now here's another version of the mass phase shot. And this one is a difficult one and requires a lot of practice. Try to pocket the 5 ball into the corner, have my 2 ball come up save it, and back down, and it's 9. Now as I'm shooting this, I want you to imagine the clock that I'm looking at, my 2 ball. As I'm coming down on this ball, I'm hitting it at 10 o'clock. Remember that, 10 o'clock, coming straight down on it. Here, you elevate straight up and down. Here's another version of the extreme mass phase shot. And what I want to do is have my 2 ball spin out to the center of the table, around the yellow ball, and come back and pocket the orange ball. And once again, I'm looking at a clock. My 2 ball is a clock. I'm going to hit this ball, and my 2 straight up and down like this. As I'm looking down at the 2 ball, I'm going to hit my 2 ball at right about at 4:30. Right between 4 and 5 o'clock. Play the orange ball. Remember, when you're shooting this mass phase shot, as you're looking down on the cue ball, I'm hitting it right between 4 and 5 o'clock. So let's call it 4:30.
The jump shot of the shot you need to incorporate in case you're ever snookered and need to hit your object shot. Now, there is a legal jump shot, and it is executed by elevating the back of your cue and striking down on the cue ball. This forces the cue ball into the bed and actually up off the bed. And in this particular shot, you will see it will jump over the 3 and 4 ball to strike the 8 and pocket the 8 inside. Now, there are people that may try and shoot the ball. Now, that is not a legal shot. In order to execute a jump shot, which I'll show you, you must strike down on the cue ball. That's the legal jump shot.
That was terrific, Wanda. And speaking of jump shots, here's a guy that jumps all over the country using pads. I call him the Denver Dynamite. Danny Medina.
Okay, so we're playing left pocket 8 ball. We're playing one pocket. One pocket, you got to make both balls in this pocket. And you make the 8 in this pocket. And then the last ball, you got to make the 8 here too. So now I'm going to bank this ball in and jump the 2 ball over the 8 to get position to the 8 in this pocket. There it is.
You know, down Philadelphia way, they tell me that Buckso was just as soon bank a ball as shoot it straight in. Let's find out how he makes all those things.
We're going to talk a little bit now about the bank shot. In banks, basically, there's 2 ingredients. Number 1 is cue ball English, and number 2 is speed. Now, this particular shot, We're going to put the one ball on the spot, and line the cue ball up, almost just a distance to the side, this side possible. Now, a bank is when the cue ball contacts the object ball, drives the object ball for one or more seconds, and then into a pocket. Now, for this particular bank, we're going to try and make this bank with linear speed and no inlet because the angle is the same way coming off the reel as it is going to the reel. So we should be able to pocket this ball both sides. Now, if I was to take that same exact shot, put the object ball right in the spot where it was before, the cue ball in the same exact spot, and put right here in English on the cue ball, and hit the same spot that I hit before when I made the ball, the right here in English should make the one ball come wrong here, make the one ball spin to the right. Now this one ball should hit approximately right here. Same speed, but just a little bit of right hand on. See what I mean? Hit right there, right here. Now if I take the same shot, put left hand in the cue ball, still contacting the reel at the same spot, I should shorten this ball up and the one ball should hit approximately right here. Now the second ingredient from bank is speed. If you hit the ball, hit the cue ball hard, it'll shorten the object ball up. If you hit the cue ball easy, it'll make the object ball lengthen. And now if I hit the same exact spot again, same exact shot, with no inlet, same spot, easy to lengthen this ball to here. You see how it lengthens, almost the same principle sitting right here in it. Now, same shot again, if I hit real hard to the same spot, it should shorten the shot up to here again, the same as the inside inlet did. Hit real hard and shorten it up. Just like that. Now you see that speed and inlet are the basic two ingredients in the bank shot.
You know, even the spectacular Robin Bell practices her bank shot, using cue ball in hand to get the proper angle. And then she's going to tell you how to finish off the routine.
And this particular practice routine will be the bank shot. Again, you pick up the cue ball, you're done. With a more advanced player, again, you try not to leave the cue ball. And you just go all the way down. You pass it back.
You know, when you knock people out in the ring, you got to play position on them. And it's the same thing with knocking a ball in the hole. You want to make this more than one at a time, you've got to play position. So let's listen to things.
Now, extreme angle, this causes you to miss balls, and at great distance, using extreme angle, it would be almost impossible to hit your object ball where you're aiming. Now, I believe that you can go from low to center to high, and it doesn't change your line of aim. If you go left to right, you're not going to hit that object ball where you think you're going to hit it. So, back to the position. If you leave the angle, then high, low, or center will get you to the next ball. I'll demonstrate a couple of those. In this case, I know that the angle I have on the 8, if I hit the cue ball above center, the cue ball will float down this way to the 9 ball. So once you decide that this particular shot calls for hitting the cue ball above center, your total concentration is at your target on the object. You don't steer the cue ball. It will automatically go to the next ball.
course, then practicing the proper speed is all you have to do to get to the next step. This is another position shot that comes up pretty regularly. Now, in this shot, if you want to do, you hit the cue ball a little bit below center. Knowing this, aim the target, follow through, and the cue ball should go 1, 2, 3 rails to the next. Once I've decided to hit it below center, not left or right, it's below center, I just concentrate on my target, and the cue ball will do the rest. All you do is hit the cue ball above center with a fair right-hand English and a level stroke. If you execute that, you don't have to pound the cue ball to get it around. Nice level stroke, hair above center, and follow through. That's all you have to do to get there. Now, about English. When I shoot that 8-ball in the pocket and the cue ball hits this rail, the friction of the cue ball hitting the rail automatically puts right-hand English on the ball. So that's why I say you only need a little bit. I'll shoot it one more time, and you'll note that the cue ball will automatically get some English. If you execute the level stroke, you never have to shoot hard. Shooting hard makes the pockets a little bit smaller. You can slap a ball in shooting easy, but you shoot hard and hit the rail, it's just not going to go in. Now let's talk a little bit more about the cue ball. Whatever you do to the cue ball, the very first ball you hit has the exact opposite of it. It's the gear principle. So that if your throw's on a ball like this, and it's aiming to the right of the pocket, you want the 9-ball to go to the left. So if you put right-hand English on the cue ball, it will spin like gears and throw the 9 to the left before it lets go. Like gears. Now this will hold true with 2 balls. The right-hand English threw that 9-ball in to the left. Now if you throw on 2 balls, now your throws on 2 balls. Right-hand English does not throw this 9-ball to the left because it is the gear principle. When you put right-hand English on this ball, the 8 would have left-hand English and throw the 9 to the right. So if I wanted this ball to throw to the left now, this would have to go left, the 8 ball would have to have right-hand English, and the 2 ball would have to have left-hand English. Try that. What's the shot? What's that do? Okay, this particular shot, I'm going to try to make the 5-ball drive through the 9-ball into this pocket. Now the way I do that is by hitting the cue ball low, it spins this way and causes the 5 to spin that way. See if I can drive it through there. That's the gear principle.
This next shot involves what the professionals call throwing the ball. We have 2 balls, throw them together, 12 ball in the front. There's actually aim at the point, not at the pocket. Throwing the ball involves changing the path of the 12 ball so it will go in the side pocket. The way you do this
is to bring the cue ball on this side of the combination set. One of the most common mistakes that amateurs make is they treat a throw shot much like they do a cut shot. Because it's aimed here on that side of the side pocket, they feel like they need to try to cut the claw ball in. Well, that's not going to work. You really have to do the reverse. In order to make the ball throw, when they're frozen, you have to hit it on the opposite side. I'm going to hit the 13. It's going to change the path of the 12, and it'll make it go in the side pocket.
Learn those throw shots and you won't be throwing away any dough, that's for sure. Now let's talk about some draw. And here's a real quick draw. I call them elbows, but everybody else calls them St. Louis.
I play 9-ball. And in 9-ball, during the course of playing the game professionally, there's a certain stroke that is very important. It's called the draw stroke. At this time, what we're going to do is we're going to talk a little bit about the power draw. The power draw is simple. Self-explanatory. You're going to put maximum English on the keyboard. It's just like a golfer or a tennis player. And it follows all the way through. All the way through all. What we're going to do with the power draw is we're going to remember. Have confidence with your shot. Plenty of chalk out there. And snap it again. You're going to leave that shot. In this little instance here, we've got the 8 ball straight in the corner with no end. We need stroke on the 9 ball. Okay. What I'm going to do is show you the power draw. It's going to be a full snap of the wrist, low right hand spin, to good position on that 9 ball. Now, what I'd like to explain about the power draw is the simple fact that most draw shots are, it's not always so imperative that we aim so low on the cue ball. But when you're shooting the power draw, you must practice constantly to build confidence in aiming as low as possible on this round action. And lots of shots because of the friction. We're going to try and turn this ball to its maximum amount. Okay. This is simple. Just put up ball strength like this. Just keep practicing over and over. That's the whip. Snap that whip. Aim very low. And snap the whip. There's going to be many times in your challenge at this game where learning and being able to execute the draw is going to be one of your biggest assets and improvement. So many times you're going to be faced with this kind of situation. Look here. The cue ball and the 5 are not really at a very good angle. And ball is down here. I've got some angle. Let's say I've got hardly no angle. Here's the power draw one more time. Maximum, low right, full confidence, keep the head down, and make sure that you snap the whip. So remember, practice the power draw. It can become a very big asset in your arsenal to taking someone. Snap the whip. Make sure you aim low. Have confidence in yourself.
Now let's listen to one of the power strokers who are doing Danny McGee and how he draws his ball.
I'm going to throw a few draw shots here. Up here I got the 1-3 here. I just broke the balls, the 1-3's laying there. But the 5 and 9's dead over here. So what I could do is I could just hit the 1 and draw the cue ball back to next to 9. Better running the table. Okay, here again I'm going to draw this ball. Cue ball right back to make the 9 ball instead of running the table, which is really easy to do. Okay, say you're playing 9 ball, you just throw up the ball and stand it up like this. The 4 and 5 are tied up over there, and You just can't break the mat. But the 9 is going in front of the hoses. You can draw your cue ball right off of this cue ball and make the 9 instead of trying to go for the break. I'm going to try to do it.
Now, Ava's going to explain to us a few basic fundamentals on how to follow a ball. Speaking of following, I'd follow this stick in.
What I'd like to show you right now is called follow a ball. You do that by hitting high on the cue ball and keeping your head down and stroking nice and smooth. And just remember, to stay down, follow through, nice and smooth.
Speaking of following balls, there is a guy that's been following balls all his life. He's none other than Diamond Jim from West Palm Beach, Florida, Jimmy Lee.
Right now I'm going to explain how to follow the cue ball correctly. By follow, it's just above spin. The further you go above spin on the cue ball with a cue tip, the more top spin it takes. Now I'm going to take maximum follow, which is just the opposite to maximum draw, which is the bottom of the cue ball. By following the ball, instead of hitting down on the top of the ball, you lower your right hand and shoot up on the cue ball from the rear. In other words, the front of my stick is higher than my right hand. And I follow the ball, maximum top spin.
You know, if you want to be a champion, you've got to have a great mental attitude. And this next young man has all of that. He is a true world champion. From Towson, Maryland, we call him Captain Hook, Mike Seaver.
Let's talk a little bit about mental attitude. A 9-ball is a very strange game. I've been playing 9-ball tennis for many, many years. A lot of times the opponent will miss a shot and they'll leave you straight. You may miss an easy shot, that's why on a 9-ball, lose the game. The best tip I can give you in 9-ball, because this game is a very strange game, it's very tough because you always have to shoot the lowest number ball in favor. Let's say I put the cue ball in this area. Playing any other game, I could shoot, let's say 14 and 1, I could shoot the 5, the 7, the 4. But the 9-ball, many times situations like this time. Shooting at the 1-ball, no shot. The best thing you can do, my tip would be, try and take advantage of every opportunity you get. In this particular type of game, some days you're going to get shots, some days you aren't. And one thing you can do is try and do your best when you get an opportunity. I found that has improved my game a big percentage. And I've been winning a lot of tournaments lately, and I think that is probably one of the reasons why.
Well, friends, you've been watching the greatest masters in the world, both men and women, doing their thing on the green side. And now it's time for you to take your cues, practice, be patient, and above all, be self-motivated. Very, very important. And who knows, just one day you might find yourself sitting in the final, the championship of the world. I, for one, want to wish you all the best luck in the world. Because old Floyd will be there waiting for you.
yoga moves, a new kind of yoga. It's taught in yoga, the most ancient system of healing, toning, and rejuvenating your body. Presenting you now your styling finger.
Go now. Have fun. The reward is due. Time for you. Time to relax. And when you look at the world, you look at you. Enlightenment isn't serious. Yoga moves will energize you. Give you a more radiant look. Strengthen and build your body. Tension and stress. Stretch and tone your muscles. Release your inhibitions. Balance your life. This is what country yoga is going to show you. How to become free. How to balance your body and mind. Reasoning that here inspirational place within every human being. How to stop that civil war that is being fought within your own being. To reach an inner peace, an inner joy, an inner ecstasy, creating an energetic and youthful appearance and outlook to life. And the best part of it all is that enlightenment isn't failure, it's joy itself. So, we come now to start the technique. The first thing we do is Karasana. This is the basic posture in yoga, using between all standing poses. Karasana keeps you grounded, radiant, and seated. Tightening your frontal side, pulling your kneecap up. Pinch your feet tight together and your abdominal wall flattened. Feeling as if you're being pulled up by a string attached to the center of your chest and the back crown of your head. Right, and now we come to the arm rotation. Get your legs out 2.5 feet apart. Bend your knees out to the side, turning your feet out to a 45-degree angle. Your knees over your toes and you feel your legs giving you a real good grounding feeling, an energized feeling to the air. Bring your arms up into the air and rotate your arms in a circle 15 times each way. Tighten your thighs and stomach. Experience that release of tension from your neck and shoulders. Doesn't that feel great? Now, reverse direction. Keep your feet firm on the ground, or else you'll fly into the air like these birds do. Straighten your legs and set them back together. Good. That's one way to elevate your consciousness. Take a full breath into the stomach, then up into the chest. Breathe out through your lips. Let yourself adjust. And then we're ready to move on to arm extension. Step your feet slightly apart and place yourself arm's length from the wall. Put your palms on the wall above your hairline. Press back and using your abdominal wall to hold the strength there,
You open up your shoulder blade area and the whole heart center, releasing and unblocking emotional stresses from your being. If you have a partner, press your palms together and push your arms into the air. Extend your feet back behind you. If you're alone, hold the pose as long as possible, or repeat it. All you need to do is as best you can. Don't strain, that doesn't give you enlightenment. It gives you sore muscle. And this is a fine way to get to know each other. As that opens, you get this tremendous sense of joy. Now we turn to Karasan for the blown palm. Draw your left arm up into the air, turning the palm up. Take your right hand up to hold on to your left wrist. Take a full breath in and stretch way up into the air. Then breathe out and stretch over to the right side. Over. Now switch hands and repeat on the other side. Stretch right out. Don't sacrifice form for race. Just do as best you can. Come back up tall again. Put both arms up into the air. Look up between the fingertips. Pinch your feet tight and stretch up and back into a full back bend. Breathing smoothly through. That's excellent. Now come back up, drop your chin forward, bend your knees and grab hold of your ankles. Thumbs on the ground and elbows behind the calf. Press your feet up. What you're feeling behind your legs there is not pain, it's called heightened awareness. Slowly come up with your chin drop down into your chest. Breathe, and then bring your head back towards it. And now you're ready to do the triangle pose. Bring your fingertips together and jump your legs apart. Turn both feet out to the side as you're doing here. Put your arm and torso out to the left side and put your fingertips to the instep of your foot. Look down to align yourself over the foot. Then turn to look up to the thumb in the air, keeping your thighs tight and breathe smoothly. If you hear any snap, crackle and pop going on in your spine, don't be alarmed, it's good for you. Come back up tall again, turn your feet to the center and breathe. Now turn your feet to the right side. That side, yeah? Take a deep breath in, breathe out and shift your right arm out to the right side, getting that whole extension of the torso out to the side. Then put the fingertip onto the instep of the foot on the floor. Now look up to the thumb in the air. Come back up tall again, right side here, feet center, take a full breath into the nose and out to the left. Step your feet back together, right side here, and again, drop your arms down beside you, take a full breath in and breathe out to your left. Repeat the triangle concept, or if you have a partner, don't open the double triangle. This seems to become the latest dance trend.
back into Karasan and prepare for the stand posture. You needn't dress up like a daycare to do this pose, unless of course you'd like to. Bring your fingertips to touch in front of your chest, elbows in the air. Bend your knees, jump your legs apart. Bring your fingers along the groin line, take a full breath in, opening your chest, relax your head back. Breathe out and bend forward from the hips, keeping your spine straight. Place your hands on the ground and walk them out as far out in front of you as you can, keeping your tailbone stretched backward. Drag your ankles from the outside, bend your elbows and pull your hairline to the ground. Continue to hold the pose unless you have a friend. You can help each other get added stretch. Walk your hands up your legs, clasp them behind your head. Tighten your thighs and stomach muscles to come to an upright position. Take a full breath in, roll your arms up into the air, breathe out and lower your arms. Now come back to Karasan and I'll give you a peek of what you look like upside down. Keep in, with your neck. The moments between poses are important to allow your body to adjust. Each pose is a workout in itself. Enjoy this moment. And remember to breathe smoothly. Now the worship pose. Bring your fingertips together, elbows in the air. Jump your legs wide apart, arms to the side. Turn your feet to the left and bend your left knee to a right angle. Keep your thighs tight. Look to your left thumb. Bring your right hand around so the palms are shoulder distance apart. Bring both hands up into the air. Your eyes focus between your fingertips. Hold the pose. Lower your arms and return your right arm out to your side. Take 2 breaths. Straighten your legs. Now turn and repeat the posture on the right side. Bend your knees. Arms facing. Hands above head and look up to the ceiling. Now lower your arms, face forward, and take 2 full breaths. Straighten your legs and sit back into Tadasana. Relax. You're with it. Remember, Tadasana is done in between each standing pose to readjust and align your body. To deepen the pose, try to get your big toes stuck, heels together, feet tight, thighs tight, and spine forward. Good dancer. Turn your right palm facing away from your body. Bend your right leg back and grab your ankle from the inside. Extend your left arm into the air beside your head. Reach your arm forward as you lift your leg into the air. Stretch your leg out as far as you can and focus on a point in front of you. Surrender into the pose. Now lower your leg. Return your arm to your side. Take a full breath in and breathe out through your lips. Nothing new. Grab another leg. Now focus on the point on the wall in front of you to help maintain your balance. Now go into the other side, and if you can, if you have somebody to assist you, you can get them to support you underneath the rib cage, and then you can begin to stretch the leg up into the air as best you can, eventually getting it almost straight. Just like Simone is getting the stretch up of the leg. Hold and balance. Return to cutout gun for the sun worker. In the sun worker, each movement is initiated by a breath. Place your palms forward, breathe in, breathe out, bring your hands into the prayer posture. Breathe in, stretch up and open as far back as you can. Breathe out, come up and forward to place your hands onto the floor. Left leg stretches back, your face lifts up. Stretch both legs back and your body into a straight line. Do a push-up. Lower again and then drop flat down onto the floor. Breathe in, turn up into the cobra pose. Stretch back onto your heels. Bring the leg foot up between your hands. Face lifts up. Breathe out and bring both feet up. Bend your knees, grab your ankles, elbows behind your calves, and then press your feet up. Breathe in, stand up. Bring your arms up into the air and feel as if you're in an Olympic award room. Now repeat the sun worker. Back to do the shoulder stand. Breathe freely and let yourself adjust. Bend your knees up into the air, roll up onto your shoulders, bending your knees to your forehead and supporting your back. Then press your knees up into the air, your heels towards your feet. Pressing your legs up into the air, coming right up onto your shoulders. Get as far into the shoulder strand as possible by pressing on the spine with your hands. Try and bring your hands as close down to the shoulder blade as you can. So that you really get the elbow pressing and supporting you and getting your spine pressing up. And it can even give you a lift. It's called give you a lift, not a hand. That's right, yeah? So you really get that spine lifting nice and tall. Excellent. Loosens out the neck, counteracts gravitational pull on your being. That's right, yeah. You can stop here, or as you develop, try the variation. And then from here, we come to plow posture. In the plow, one lowers both legs down towards the floor, like William's doing there. That's it. You curl the toes into the floor, and the whole idea now is again your spine is kept straight up in the air. Don't let that spine here fall and bend. That's like William is doing perfectly here. That's it. You see it? Yeah? And then finally, you come over here to the spider pose. You bend both knees down, like that, and then you put the arms over the legs and under the head. That's quite a puzzle in itself. You have to have high IQ to get better. With the hands under the head like that, you get a tremendous massage and therapy into the thyroid and throat area. So that's where you are, right. So it also, of course, in winter time keeps your ears nice and cozy down there. Right, so essentially, straighten your legs out, roll straighten them out behind, put your hands back and grab hold of your ankle. Now slowly, I want you to come back, rolling back vertebra by vertebra to the floor. Really good to see each little vertebra sitting on the floor. You then come down, you put the spine onto the floor, you interlace your fingers behind your head. Pull your chin up to the chest and be sure to keep the back nice and flat on the floor. You don't want the back to arch up. Then, slowly, you flex the toes back towards you and you slowly lower your legs down towards the floor. Using the stomach muscles inside real tight, keep them real firm. You want those abdominal walls as tight as you can. That's it. It will give you determination, willpower, and it stops you, of course, the abdomen from falling out, from hanging out. This is where it belongs. Drop your knees down onto the floor. Like that. Put your head back down onto the floor. Now put your arms down, take a full breath into your nose and out through your lips. Once more. Your mind is closed, your entire body is rejuvenating, recharging, and it's finer than any sleep that you can get. To reach that moment in between two breaths, you begin to lose that sense of being pulled down to earth. You get a feeling of freshness, a sense of lifting off the floor. Feel yourself floating in space, floating beyond space, beyond the anxiety and pain. Now we come to the hand to big toe pose. Bend your left leg up into the air. Take your left hand to hold the left big toe, using the middle finger, index finger, and thumb. Place your right hand onto your thigh and straighten the left leg out. Breathe smoothly through and flatten the neck and back to the ground as best you can. Now take a full breath in and on the exhalation, pull your head up and your forehead towards your shin bone, bending your elbow and pulling your legs towards you, keeping the shoulder blade on the floor. That heightened awareness is there again. Then relax the head back down, bend the knee and place the leg down onto the ground. Don't get too comfy, you have the other leg. Your leg on the ground. Relax, breathe under. This pose gives you a sense of freedom and openness. Bring it back to earth, the stay pose. As we come to this moving yogi, see how he comes to life. Roll your arms up and place them behind your head. Your palms together. Take a deep breath in, breathe out and sit up tall. Your biceps are side to you. Drop your arms. Bend your knees. Interlace your fingers behind your thighs, take a full breath in. Breathe out and take both feet up into the air. Keep your spine straight, stretch your arms out beside you. Interlace your fingers behind your head. Breathe through. You will feel your stomach and legs shaking, but don't worry, they're only trembling with joy. Now this pose can be done with a partner as well. If you're alone, simply repeat the pose. If you have a partner, clasp each other's wrists, put the toes of the feet together, and push up into the air. Keep the breastbone open and breathe smoothly. By doing this with a partner, it helps keep the spine taut. Hold it. Come out of it, bend one leg and place it back down onto the ground. When the other one comes down, put the hands over the shin bone. Take a full breath in and look up. And now you'll feel quite tuned up. And now we come to the bow pose. Lie on your stomach. Bend your knees and grab your ankles. Lift your thin neck and chest into the air, and then lift your legs up. Feel your chest pull forward as your legs pull back. This will jack up your feet and thighs and take care of the spare tire as well. Slowly lower yourself back down, lie flat onto your stomach, turning your head to one side. Then turn the head to the other side. Repeat. Place your hands beside your chest, press on the arms and curl up and kneel on all fours. Curl your toes into the floor and your feet the distance of your hip apart. Press your feet up into the air, coming right up onto your tipped toes. Work to get your feet bone up as high as possible. Feel your spine stretching forward, your head hanging loosely down. Don't strain your neck, relax. Bend your knees and kneel down onto the floor. Sit back onto your heels. Breathe smoothly. If you're alone, repeat the pose. This posture can be done with a partner as well. With one partner kneeling on the floor, you curl your toes into the floor and you hold on to the ankle of the other partner. Then you press your feet up into the air, coming up right up onto the very tip toe again, pressing the feet down up into the air. The other partner takes your hands and places their hands onto the lumbar spine. So you really get a good leverage on that area to press the lumbar spine, dropping the knees down onto the floor, and press the feet, the spine down, turning the feet bone up into the air. Now, repeat. If you are alone, place your hands on the base of the wall to keep them slipping. From there, you bend your knees, take the pressure off the back, and put your knees down, sit back down onto your heels, and again, take a nice full breath into the nose and breathe out to your left. Now, join me and my friend at the beach for a breath of fresh air. Draw a deep breath down into your stomach and then up into your chest. As you breathe out, move your stomach in and your chest empty. Don't force your breath into this rhythm, feel it. Repeat pose. Sit on your heels with your spine straight. Open your feet apart and sit between them. Place your right hand on your left knee and put your left hand on the ground behind you. Look over your left shoulder. Breathe smoothly and keep forward. Turn and look forward. Bring the hand back and change down to the other side. Look over your shoulder. Now look forward. Put your hands back onto your feet and bend back, one elbow at a time onto the ground. Place your arms behind your head. What a way to get a sunset. Bring your arm back, one at a time, and hold the ankle. Pull yourself up tall again, and turn your hands onto the sole of the feet. Stretch forward to put your forehead onto the ground in front of you. Pull your feet down. Come back up tall again, and look up. Kneel onto all fours and stretch one leg out behind you. Then change round and bring the other leg back. Get back onto your heels. Breathe and immerse yourself in a peaceful moment. Now we come to the complete yoga breath. We don't expect you to hold your breath as long as this sector. Take a full breath down into your stomach, then up into your chest. Drop your chin. Now hold it as long as possible. Learning to control your breath teaches you to control your mind, which controls your body. Breathe out, raising your head and feel the clarity in your mind. Now, the camel pose. Come to kneel onto all fours. Place your hands onto your back and open your feet and knees the distance of the hip apart. Take a full breath in, lift your chest and drop your head back behind, getting a full arch in your back. Place one hand on one sole of the foot and the other hand on the other. Push your thighs as far forward as you can. That's right here. Breathe smoothly through, feeling the release of tension. It stretches and lengthens the spine and eliminates round shoulders. It also firms up the thighs and feet. Bring your left hand back up to support your back, bring your right hand up, and then pull yourself up, dropping your chin toward the chest, sit back down onto your heels. Pull breath in through the nose, and then breathe out through your lips. Excellent. Now you're looking radiant. Right, now we come to the diamond swing posture. Roll your arms up into the air, get right up tall, and get your biceps beside your ear. And you feel your whole spine nice and tall. As your arms reach up, be aware of your chest expanding. Take a full breath in and breathe out, come forward to place your head onto the floor in front of you. Really feel that you stretch your arms more and more out in front of you so you get the whole extension and loosening in the shoulder blade area. This is a tremendous posture for releasing stress from the spinal column. It's the most fantastic form of pressure. To further stretch the spine, invite someone to stand on your back. But only a yogi. You put one foot across the lumbar spine like that, and then we step onto the other foot onto the middle of the shoulder blade. That's right, yeah? To the yogi, we call it Ayurveda. So the foot's pretty tough today. That's right, yeah. Keep the good palm. That's it. All right, white out. So from here, draw your arms back up tall again. Remember, nothing into this area. Breathe out and drop your arms down, putting your hands back onto your thighs. Take a full breath in and breathe out through your legs. Now you can see you've got some color in your face. Right, now let's move on to the next posture. The cat posture. Kneel onto all fours. Your knees and feet 50 feet apart. Breathe in, your face lifts up, stomach down, and feet stretches out behind you. Breathing out, hump your back up, chin into your chest. Breathe in, your face lifts up, stomach down. Breathe out and hump up, chin and stomach in. Breathe in and face up. And finally, breathe out, hump up, stomach up. Then come back to the center and rotate your spine in a large circle, point each way. Feeling as if you have a paintbrush in your feet and you're painting a large circle with it. This is called cosmic art. Lie back onto the floor. The bridge pose. Bend your knees, your feet the distance of your hips apart. Press your feet up into the air, getting the hip structure as high as you can. Point your fingers into your shoulders, palms of the hands on the ground. Press on the arms and come up on top of your head. Straighten the arms, getting your head off the floor. Only if you can, walk your legs slightly out in front of you and bring your feet in together. Walk your feet back and slowly lower yourself down. Head, neck, shoulders, and back. Take your legs out and breathe smoothly to adjust. Just do something, move your nose. To do the sparrow pose, bend both legs up into the air, interlace the fingers below your knees. Breathe in, breathe out, and pull your forehead towards your knees. Hold it. Place your head back onto the ground, stretching your legs. Stretch your arms out behind your head, palms together. Breathe in, breathe out, and sit up tall. Lunge. The forward bend. Take hold of your feet and separate each side apart. Then come forward to take hold of your big toe. Open the breastbone up first, taking a full breath in, and then breathe out, bending the elbows, pulling the toes back towards you. Getting the bend from the hip structure, that your whole spine begins to move forward. So you want to bend forward from the hip. Now in order to assist you under this, now, the yogi has a little covering developed for his students in order to get that hip structure moving correct. If you don't have the yogi at home, you'll just have to give yourself a covering. And you pull open the seat area like that. It creates the hip structure to turn back. And then you pull the seat right back and lie over and along the leg, stretching your spinal column long and straight. As you hold it, you feel an incredible relief in your hamstring. Getting that old heightened awareness again. Then from here, breathe in and come up halfway. Breathe out and pull both arms up into the air. Breathe in and out and lower your arms. Welcome home. Begin with looking hands in the toes by putting your arms out to the side. Shift your body out to the left side and lower your elbow to the ground in front of your leg. Turn your palm up and take hold of your big toe. Bring your right arm over and hold the other side of your foot. Turn and look up towards the feet. Full breath in through the nose and out through your lips. Now, do the other side. Back to the center and breathe in. Then put your hands on the floor in front of you. Walk your hands forward, leading with your chest. As best you can is all you want. As you hold, you set it in front place. Smoothly through. It takes 10 seconds for your body to recognize what's going on and say, oh, it's okay, you can open up a little further. So take that pause. Then walk your hands back, coming up tall again. There you are. You feel quite joyous now. Everything is wonderful after this pause. Now, this can be done with a partner as well. If you're alone, repeat the pose. With a partner, cross each other's wrists and gently stretch one another back and forth. Come to the butterfly pose. Slowly bend your knees and bring the sole of the feet in together. Interlace your fingers and clasp them around the toe. Pull these heels right into the body, get them right in as close as you can. Now bounce your knees out a little to loosen out the section inhibitions and tensions which form in the groin area. Then press the knees down and slowly try to get your spine as tall as possible. Now, this pose can be done with a partner as well. One partner puts their hands onto the other one's side and presses the thighs down towards the floor, which gives that extra pressure to loosen out those knots in that area. Then, you breathe smoothly through, feeling the breastbone open. Couple of breaths. And then from there, change down to do the other side. Bring your hands back, put the other hand there, that's it, and again. If you are fortunate enough, and there's a yogi passing by, well, you can invite him around to come and stand onto your legs. If you're wise, you'll always invite a swim yogi to stand on your legs. That's it. That's done for the two of us. And now we come to the next posture, which is the lotus seat. You sit with your legs folded, feet inside. So if you can, in the lotus seat. Then, with your hands on the floor, you can slowly slide your feet back and forth. Now, sit with your spine form and your hands placed over your knees. Thumb and index finger touching. The lotus seat has the same form and qualities as a pyramid. They can absorb and attract energy from the universe. They make form a triangular base of your feet, which grounds you to the earth. Your upturned palms act as receptors of universal energy. Forming the pyramid shape, you sit between it, feeling a radiant inner energy. Take a moment to get in touch with you. And now we're going to do a breathing exercise. And we're going to breathe out, pushing the stomach in, breathing out through your lips, almost like you blow out a candle, like that. So you breathe out, the stomach kicks in, you breathe in, and your stomach comes out. We do 27 of this. So let's practice this. Breathe in and through the lips, and 27 breaths. Learning to get that abdominal wall working. Now take a full breath into the stomach and pull up into the chest. Hold your breath and lock your chin into the neck and pinch your feet towards the navel. And you get that complete lock. It's called the triple lock. You chin down, your feet in and the navel in. Then you brace the lock and feel the energy up the spine into the brain. And then you open your eyes, looking just gently onto one point. And you feel your whole body is being energized. Now we are ready for the visualization technique. Sit quietly and feel the rest become clear.
Certain colors activate these centers, bringing out your positive qualities. Visualizing these colors assists you in a total balance of your being. Opening the central core of your being. At the base of the spine, visualize the red light giving you vitality. At the top of the second row, visualize orange, charging your sexual energy. At the navel center, visualize yellow light, balancing the dual qualities of your mind. Moving with your heart, visualize the green light, balancing your emotions, giving love and passion. At the throat center, visualize the blue glow of light, illuminating fear and allowing you to communicate. In the center of your brain, visualize the violet glow, bringing you peace and tranquility. Giving the sensation of your brain opening like a soft white flower, radiating light. Focus on my heart. Into your mind, with involved, don't participate. Let these images lead you into a meditative state. Close your eyes and focus your attention between your own eyelids. Follow your own inner images to a deeper meditative state. Each of you is a star in your own galaxy, a sun in your own universe. Having set your spirit free, feel yourself rise to a new and exciting dimension, filled with joy and ecstasy. Take this joy into the world with you. Have a super wonderful day.
That's a picture of me when I was just a little boy. Now I've grown up to be the voice of Wasteland. I'm here to tell you how my brother Tom, after many years of searching and long hours of practice, became the Yo-Yo Man, and how you too can attain that lofty state of bliss. We started out with a normal family life, with Mom, Tom, and me, and we had a healthy and happy childhood. That is until Tom taught me the game running. After an honorable discharge, Tom and I went off and pursued the pursuit of life, which ultimately led us to the state of yo.
People ask me, where did the yo-yo come from? Very good question. What's the yo-yo come from? Well, no one knows for sure, but according to the yo-yo man, the evolution of the yo-yo first began a long, long time ago when a man was caught observing a frog. He looked at that frog. He noticed the frog had a very unusual tongue.
He thought maybe that tongue could be used for a lot of other things than flipping flies and insects. He said the tongue was real far out. Back and forth. So he held the frog by his long tongue and bounced him up and down. Then he traveled around the world. Around the world works pretty well, too. The other man looked at the frog and said, it's very fun to not do right. The frog agreed. And he finished with the frog. Now, the next step, you know about yo-yo man. He said yes, of course. Now, the next step in the evolution of yo-yo came one night as a man was caught studying the spiders which could play up and down a second thread. So, of course, he thought to himself, I wonder, what if I think I'll fly around the room with this handsome spider. And that went pretty well. Then he said, I think I'll try loop the loop. Loop the loop was real well too, that isn't well. How did you get the point?
No one knows when or where the yo-yo made its first appearance on this planet. But legend has it that it goes way, way, way back to near the beginning of time, or possibly just after the discovery of steam. But one thing for sure, the yo-yo has remained very popular ever since. For centuries, the young and old, rich and poor, the famous and powerful have all pursued the same goal. They have searched and searched and searched and searched for the pure and supreme state of love.
You know how to stay with the oak and give you new life? Do you know how to stay with the oak and lift your spirit? Do you know how the state of yoke can change an ordinary dollar into someone special? Well, take a look at this man. Here's an example of a man before he discovered and achieved the mystic state of yoke. Not a living thing could stand to be in his presence. Flowers would wilt, food would fail, animals and insects would find and fight him, and then die gladly. For instance, witness this encounter with a small child. Hello, small child, he said. You see, even the child recognized this man as a parent, not the yo. Pardon me, miss, I'm a stranger in your town. Could you please show me the way to your house, he said. And even disagreeable, sour old political leaders found him quite annoying. Well, this is getting me nowhere, he said. And that's when he discovered the yo-yo. He saw the light. He heard the music. He found the groove. It's yo-yo! Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's something even more special. It's the yo-master. I want not to be desired. I want to be a yo-yo man, he cried. Let's be a yo-yo man. But the yo-yo master did not answer. He just kept on yoing. Well, can you help me get started? Please? Yes, he said. First, you must learn the basics of yes. The basics. Bringing the yo, tying the knot, creating the loop, placement on the finger, twisting and winding, throwing and retrieving, string tension, and replacement. Let's start off by stringing the yo. Lift the yo-yo through the loop of the string. Now give it a kick to the right, like clockwise. Now hold the yo-yo between your feet and stretch the string up to your waist, hold it taut there and slip off the string. Looks like the yo-yo man. Ooh, what's that? That's not really supposed to be. The reason you want to string it that way is because you don't want it so long that the yo-yo keeps banging the ground. That's right, yo-yo man. Now it's right there at the top of the string. Now tie a loop, a little loop, around the end of the string. You don't have to loop too small so that it binds on the loop.
Run it around the finger and cut that circulation. So have it a nice loose loop, like it shows right there in the diagram. Excellent. Now place the string of the loop around your middle finger, just behind the first knuckle. Right there. That's it. Put it tight, and you're ready to go. Let's start off by spinning the yo-yo to the right to switch the string tight. Sounds like a simple thing to do, but sometimes you'll find that the yo-yo string keeps slipping around and you can't wind it for you. Winding the yo-yo should be easy, but here's what the yo-yo man does. See each finger? You slip it right across the yo-yo, make an extra loop, and slide the finger out. And now you can start winding it a little tighter and a little tighter. And that's perfect. Now the yo-yo's ready to go. Notice which way you're winding the yo-yo. See the arrow there? And the yo-yo is round to the outside cord of the end of the finger. The reason it's round towards the end of the finger is that when you do an overhand release, palm up the wrist, the yo-yo just moves and goes off the hand down to the tip of the wrist. Do it again, yo-yo man. See, the palm is up towards the yo-yo man, facing the yo-yo man, and a nice natural roll up into your finger. See, the reason you do that overhand roll is that you get a lot of power in the skin. So you fly, keep dropping the yo-yo. Then the underside of the palm of the hand, see how wavy the skin, so you can hold it. You see, the problem yo-yo man has there is this string that can twist it in. It's too weak. So twist it right to tight. That's right. Ooh, see, now here's the opposite problem. It's too tight. So what you do is spin the yo-yo to the left, the loop, which will untwist the string a little bit, and then there's no problem. Just a little bit of trying. So just wind it too tight one time, and wind it too loose another, and you get what I mean. Uh-oh. You know what? Yo-yo strings don't last forever. And no one really knows how long one will last. So if you're worried about it sometimes, take off the string after it's been on a while, in a few days, and throw it away. It's important never to aim the yo-yo directly at anybody. And make sure you have plenty of room for tricks. Because you never know when you might lose that steady yo. This little boy, his hero was a traveling professional yo-yo man. And when Tommy grew up, he never lost his love for the yo-yo. But when you approach the yo-yo as an adult, it has a whole different dimension than when you were just a child. For instance, there's a philosophy of life of which the yo-yo is the center. It goes like this. We're all warm and secure in our homes like the yo-yo is in the palm of the hand. So when the yo-yo is flung out into space like this, that's what we do every day when we leave our homes and go out into the world. We're out there trying to impress our friends and neighbors and loved ones. We're out there trying to get ahead in life. We're out there trying to look groovy. Hey, look groovy, Tom. That's it. Take my brother's groovy list. Now we'd like to teach you the 9 basic yo-yo tricks. Notice that each trick has its own color. That's so that when you want to refer to a particular trick for review, just fast forward your VCR until you see the flashing color before it. Press play and you're ready to go. Okay, palm up release. Yo-yo in its feature position, spinning at the bottom of the string at a high rate of speed. Now the yo-yo master has his hand up in the air and around. You don't have to do it like that. You can if you want. But it's not necessary. Now, with the finger there, little tug of the finger, yo-yo back up to the palm of the hand. You yo-yo now, one quick time. Back up to the palm of the hand. Very well done. Now notice it's a palm up release. Smart release. Stop the string. Yo-yo spinning at a high rate of speed at the end of the string, and then when you're ready, you sort of bring it up to the palm of the hand. This trick is for animal lovers. Now slow it real fast, people, just like the one you learned. Let it spin it in the string for 2 beats, then gently lower the yo-yo back towards your wheel. Gently to the ground, and keep stacking the string by moving your hand away from your body, following the yo-yo. And then at the end of the run, lift your hand up, with a little touch, yo-yo comes back up to the palm of the hand. Now it's really important to do that. Fast spin. Overhand release is really fast spin. Stabilize the yo-yo there for a few seconds. Lower it, hold your wheel, follow it out. That's right. Now, lift the hand, little touch, back to the palm of the hand. If you want to go for a walk with the dog, that's okay too. Breakaway is a little different from the other tricks in that the release is to the side and across the body. See, up and out, down and around and across the body. Yo-Yo Man says he'd like to try it by himself. Okay, Yo-Yo Man, let's see if you can do it. Now bring the arm up, down and out, across the body. That's right. Let's try it once more. Slow motion this time. Arm comes up. Arm in. Arm in. Across the body and right there. Over the hand, brings the yo-yo right back to the palm of the hand. Let's watch the Yo-Yo Man do it a couple more times. You're in the groove, Yo-Yo Man. Over the falls is a quick fancy trick. Swing the yo-yo straight out, then back over your wrist, straight down, and back up to the palm of the hand. Let's try it in slow motion. Rear release, straight out, over the wrist, between the arm and body, straight down, then up to the palm of the hand. Let's watch it and stop action. Arm back, wrist top, straight forward release, and right back over the wrist, between the forearm and the body, straight down, up to the hand. Around the world, the Yo-Yo Man's favorite trick because it best illustrates his philosophy of life. He thinks of us as the yo-yo in the palm of the hand, and as we live life, we go out into the world, spinning around and around, seeing new places, and making new friends. Let's watch the Yo-Yo Man do it in slow motion. Down and back, down and forward, around, now a slight tug on the string, back to the hand. Let's watch it in stop motion. So the Yo-Yo Man brings his hand back, wrist top, down and forward, yo-yo way out there. Now watch the hand. Stay very quiet in the center. Hardly moves at all. A Yo-Yo Man's going around quiet. He has a lot of spin on it. But you just try one revolution to start. Good going, Yo-Yo Man. Nice trick. Let's watch around the corner. Yo-Yo Man says he'd like to try it. Let's watch it in slow motion. Grip fast, keep your position. Bring the yo-yo string gently behind the arm, midway between the elbow and the shoulder. Watch the grip back a little bit. Instead of wave the hand, grip touch. Over the arm, straight down, back up to the palm of the hand. Let's try it once more. Now, overhand release, good fast sweeper. Then very gently, bring that string back. Over the arm. Now, try to get the elbow, wrist, and shoulder touching to the same hand. Pop your wrist back, and then wave your hand forward. Just a little wave. The yo-yo will come over the arm, straight down, hold your hand about waist height, then a little touch, back to the palm of the hand. Let's watch the yo-yo. here's a variation on around the corner. It's called kick around the corner. Everything's the same to this point. Then you bring your left leg back and sort of fake a kick out. Just don't quite touch it, but at the same time, wave the hand, raise them up, down, and back home again. Nifty kick, young master. Rocking the Baby is one of the most famous of all the yo-yo tricks. The yo-yo man gets more requests for this trick than any other. Now, here's the yo-yo man rocking the baby. Holds the cradle with his left hand, rocks the baby with his right. Back to the palm of the hand. Now let's try it in slow motion. Yo-yo down and back with it. Now a little more than a third down, with his left hand, you grab the yo-yo stick. Then, with the right hand, a few inches above the yo-yo, grab the string. Now, spread the fingers of the left hand, turn palm up, build the cradle, rock the baby with the right hand. To release from this position, release with the right hand, bring the left hand up, and back on again. Let's try it again. Fast release, sleep it. Now a bit more than a third down, the left hand and the right. Now you're going to have to experiment a little bit with this, how to get the right amount of swing for the baby in the cradle for the kick. You can watch this. You're going to stay backwards and forward, because it's a little tricky in getting the right dimension to the cradle. Thank the baby. That's a little variation on rock the baby. Here's another one. It's called rock the baby, cha cha cha. It's a little fancy. Cha cha cha. Let's see you do it, yo-yo man. Hold the cradle, rock the baby, cha cha cha. Watch the yo master up close slow motion. Now he has so much spin on it that he's going to do it. You can count them 4.5 cha cha cha. Here we go. Start counting it. Here we go. 4.5. Watch this release. Out and away and with an overhand grip. Great catch.
James, I think that's a rock the frog in your finger. And that was pretty good too. In fact, you could see the man was having lots of fun.
Here's the yo-yo man doing his loop salute. Now the yo master in slow motion, we'll show you how to do it. Hand back, forward release, and then with your wrist and finger, bring the yo-yo back between the arm and the body, and then swing it out again. Watch the timing on this. Hand back, and the arm and body, and out again. And if you try this trick, just try 1 or 2 loops a loop. Now here's a real cut on the wrist and finger action on this loop. Yeah, it comes back. Watch that spring in relation to the hand action. This particular trick, the yo-yo never sleeps. And actually, if you do this loops right, you can build energy and go faster and faster and do as many loops as you want. And that's loops. This last trick is dual purpose. Not only is the flying saucer fun to watch, but it also adjusts the twist or the tension of the yo-yo spin. See, the yo-yo comes out, takes an angle in the secret position, continues until it spins absolutely flat, and then you bring it back to the hand. Now the reason it does this is, unlike the other trick, the yo-yo release is not straight down, it's to the side. See that? The yo-yo man just plunge it to the side, about 45-degree angle, boom, back to the palm of the hand. Now let's see how we do this trick. You take your overhand release to the side, right from the start, 45-degree angle. Now watch, in the sleeper position, the yo-yo is popped a little bit. See it? Now it's even continuing so that it's absolutely flat. Now take your left hand about midway in the swing, slide it down to about 4 to 6 inches above the yo-yo, hold it out there until you're ready to bring it home, then slight lift with the left hand, a touch with the right, and back to the hand. It's very important just that you release the yo-yo easier. That is, with not as much power as you would with a front release. The yo-yo cannot accept as much power as the side release. It will just pop right back up. See the yo-yo man's release nice and easy now. With the left hand, he pinches the string, holds it tight, and wants the string on twist. That is the flowing process. Nice flying, yo-yo man. In honor of the yo-yo man's completion of the 9 basic yo-yo tricks, did he ask for gold, silver, or other material goods? No, he did not. He simply asked for and received his very own suspenders. That's right, suspenders. I have no idea why he wanted these suspenders. But then again, they made him so happy. Congratulations, yo-yo man. Congratulations. Baby in a little tunnel. And now I've lost the power. Monkey with the string. The text is stopped. A man on a flying tattoo. I tell you I wanna be the yo-yo man. With my yo all over the land. The people dancing on the floor. Wherever we go. The 200 loop to loop. Here comes the motor. Riding the horse. Never say nothing, never tell him. The brain twister. Rock the baby and ride for power. Dog bites man. Ooh. That hurts, doesn't it, yo-yo man? Now this is a really nice trick. It's called dog jumping through hoops. Watch that again. Through the hoop. One more time, man. Here comes the scary spider web. Ooh. Yeah. Loop to loop. With around the world. Milk the cow. Yo-yo man. This is roller coaster. Once again, man.
Right now I'm just practicing a little pool with a good friend of mine, a great Danny Medina. We're getting ready to head to Aspen, Colorado, where we're going to meet with 15 more of the greatest men and women players in the game today. And while we're there, we're going to put together a series of instructional pieces which is really going to improve your game. Let's face it, in this sport, the more inside secrets you know, the more fun you're going to have. And speaking of fun, hey, amigo, you haven't missed a ball in an hour. Are you ever going to let me shoot again?
I don't plan on letting you shoot the rest of the week.
He's a real fun guy to play with. Now, what I want to talk about is the proper selection of the cue. For those of you who have never had a professional cue and really don't know how to go about choosing one, what I would suggest is to go into your local billiard parlor, take some cues out of the rack. All different weights. Now, how do you know what weight it is? Well, usually there'll be a little insignia on the cue right here. This particular cue says 17. That means 17 ounces. What I would do is get a bunch of cues that weigh different ounces, pick them all up and decide which one feels too heavy for you, which one is too light for you. When you find the one that feels just right, and this is the one I use, this is a 19-ounce cue stick. A lot of the professional players, that's the standard cue for them, is 19 ounces. Once you find one that feels the right weight, then you want to see how tall the stick is. Most people play with a cue that's between 57 and 58 inches tall, depending on how tall they are. But 57 to 58 inches is the standard length. 19 ounces is the standard weight. The next thing you want to have on your cue stick at all times is this tip is very important. A half-moon shaped tip. You got a tip that's flat, you're going to miss cue a lot, you can't get anything on the cue ball. So remember, the length, 57, 58 inches, standard weight, about 19 ounces. And make sure your tip is always in a half-moon shape. Get a lot more action on the cue ball that way. Now the next thing I want to talk about is proper table selection. There's a lot of people out there who are interested in becoming professional players and traveling on the professional circuit. You're going to find one thing when you get to all these tournaments, all the tables are going to have new cloth, which means the tables are going to roll much faster. If I was looking to go to a tournament, I would first come into the pool room and look for a table that has the newest cloth on it, because it's the one that's going to roll the fastest. Now, as you can see on this table here, it has a little bit of wear and tear on it. Obviously, this cloth has been on this table for a little while. But this cloth over here seems to be plate green, which means this is a brand new cloth. Now, this is a table I would want to play on because I think this table is going to roll a lot faster than this particular table. And that's what you're going to find at tournaments. New cloth with a lot of speed. You should also take a look at the pocket. If you got a table that when you hit a ball and it hits the rail here and it still goes in the pocket, hey, these pockets are too big. You don't want to practice on a table like this. Just normal tightness of the pocket is what you want. Try to find a table that has normal tightness of the pocket and a lot of green on it, because that's what you're going to find in tournament action.
Okay, I want to show you some of the basic fundamental bridges that are used when you play a game of pool. The first bridge for beginners is the easiest one to make. You just make a fist with these four fingers and bring this thumb over against the index finger and just kind of let it curl a little bit so that you make a channel that slide that cue through, just like this. Okay, now after you try this and this becomes real easy to do, now all you do is just spread out all four fingers, and you keep the heel of the hand here on the table and the pressure points of these four fingers. And you still got that channel between the knuckle and the thumb to slide the cue. Now, a lot of the professionals use this on some of the shots in the game. Okay, now the next one is the one that gives everybody so much trouble. It's called the tripod bridge. And what you do is just lay your hand flat like this and lay the stick right between your thumb and index finger. You bring this index finger over and put it against your thumb, and now you bring that middle finger under and against your index finger, so you form a tripod for all three fingers. And your pressure point for the heel of the hand, you don't want it up in the air like this. You want that palm of the hand flat on the table, the heel, and you want the pressure points on the finger. And you make a nice channel to slide that where you have real firm control of the cue. Okay, now once in a while, you end up in this position, where you have to shoot over a ball. Okay, and I've seen a lot of different bridges. Now you have to get these hands